We have audio now that is being actively hidden. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook have all shadow banned this. You're not going to be able to find this audio anywhere unless you have access to the dark web, which my research team uses the dark web. It's sometimes the only way to get information. And what you have to do if you're on the dark web or have a VPN, you can just log in as if you're a Russian server. And so if you're logging online from a Russian server, then you see the things that were banned in America, but not banned the rest of the world. This audio came from a Ukrainian source, and the Ukrainian source taped it. He's an Ukrainian official. They taped a phone call right after the election of Donald Trump. Joe Biden reached out to his people, Poroshenko, in the Ukraine. Remember everything you learned during the impeachment hearings and what we showed you on the chalkboard. So he reaches out to Poroshenko, the head of the Ukrainian government, and it's recorded. Now, I want to give you several layers of this. What was the reason that Joe Biden said we could get General Flynn? Remember, the FBI said there's nothing here. He didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing here. And the next day, they had an emergency meeting at the White House without the FBI. The FBI said case closed. They had this meeting. Joe Biden was in it. Susan Rice was in it. And so was Barack Obama. And we know because of notes that Barack Obama said, what can we do? Joe Biden said, we can use the Logan Act. The Logan Act is something that was enacted in the 1700s. It's never been used. But it is when somebody would go over to a foreign country and say, I'm representing the United States of America. And they didn't represent the United States of America. And they tried to do deals with that country. Okay, it's an old-timey act. Never been invoked. Until Joe Biden said, we can get General Flynn. So they did. That's what they got General Flynn on. And the reason why is because he said, look, don't do anything crazy. We're coming into office to Russia. We're coming into office. And just please don't retaliate on anything this administration has done. It's a new administration, and we may be handling things differently. Okay? That was interference from the incoming administration. Now, this is the outgoing administration and the vice president calling the president of Ukraine. Here's cut one.
The people they put forward to be part of the transition have to be clear.
Stop. You know what? Before we even start this, put it back at the beginning. If you're at your computer, I want you to take this piece of audio and I want you to burn it to a CD. It is being systematically erased by tech. Again, we got this from YouTube and the dark web from Russia because it hasn't been banned yet by YouTube in Russia. So everybody, if you have access, burn this to a CD so it's not lost. All right, here we go.
People they put forward to be part of the transition have to be cleared to do that, just as we had to be cleared after the Bush administration, et cetera. They have not done that. They're trying to catch up and do it now since they fired the guy who headed up the transition just last week. The reason I bother to tell you that is I have been somewhat limited on what I'm able to tell their team about Ukraine. The truth of the matter is the incoming administration doesn't know a great deal about the situation.
So we know that the situation with Ukraine was dirty. We know that the Obama administration was doing stuff kind of off the books, a little wink, wink, nod, nod in Ukraine. What he's saying here is, I can't tell you because I'm limited. What I can tell them, what I can tell you. So he's besmirching the administration, the incoming administration, saying, look, I can't tell you why, but we're not telling them everything. There's some things going on. Well, what were those things going on? A bogus investigation. So we can't really talk to them about, and so they don't know what's been going on in Ukraine. This is a signal for him to say, if he was using plain language, he would just be saying, look, they're not part of what we've been doing, so don't say anything to them about that. Okay? That's what's happening. Now here's part 2 of the phone call.
Well, you're awfully generous. I don't plan on going away. I mean, as a private citizen, I plan on staying deeply engaged in the endeavor that you have begun and we have begun.
Yeah.
At least that's my objective. That's my objective. But if I go beforehand, I'm worried since they don't know enough, they will think I'm trying to game them. They will think I am trying to put them in a corner. They will question my motive.
And we do, Joe. And we do. I want to urge you to look at this, burn it if you can to your hard drive so we know we have it. Again, it is being censored by YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. They've all shadow banned it. We can tell you why if you go back and you look at a few of the episodes of what was happening with, just look at the episode on Hydra. If you look at the Hydra episode about what was going on in Ukraine, you understand why all of this is going on. You can get those shows and all of the shows. In fact, last Wednesday's show about the Civil War, the coming Civil War, that has on the screen as we go. I had to move quickly because it's a lot of research in that show. It gives you the titles of all the other shows that we did that are in the archives. So you can watch that and go, okay, I don't understand that. Okay, it's on that show. Go back to the archives and watch that show. The reason why probably this is being censored, since there's no evidence, the heavily edited recordings, they're thinking were stolen or they're entirely fabricated. Okay, well, really? Because we have systems now that can talk about deep fakes, and the hardest deep fake to make is audio. It's not even close yet. Video, it's pretty close. Audio is really, really hard. Now, these it's entirely fabricated or it was stolen. These are things that that Twitter and Facebook have put in to stop foreign interference in this year's election. And unlike in 2016, when Russia used bogus social media accounts or bots to wage misinformation campaigns, this time they're being spread by legitimate American social media users. The disinformation fellow at the nonpartisan Wilson Center said the recordings are misleading to an audience that doesn't have the full picture. It's certainly an influence campaign. Well, you want the full picture? You can get the full picture at blazetv.com. You'll understand this in its entirety. You'll get it. You'll know what he says, and I want to continue what we've been working on. You'll understand what he was working on. Join us at The Blaze right now. Without your subscription, we wouldn't be where we are today. Without your subscription, we wouldn't have the evidence of what they were doing. We wouldn't have the whole story. We would be uninformed, and we would maybe be misled by this video to think that maybe he was, I don't know, trying to start a nuclear war. No, he wasn't. It's very clear what Joe Biden was doing over in the Ukraine and who was involved and what they were doing. You want the full explanation? Join us now. blazetv.com/Glenn. If you use the promo code in the next couple of days, ban this, you'll receive $20 off your subscription.